You're right. How y'all doing? It's that time again. It's pickup time. October pickup time, and October is a good month because October is the month of Ys. Why the month of Ys? Because it's Ys 10's release month, and I'm really psyched for it. Or at least the Western translated English release month. Played it end of last year in Japanese very briefly, but waited until now so that I could play the game in English and understand what is going on. To prepare for that, though, I decided to go through the entire series again on platforms I hadn't previously streamed on or that I hadn't played in a long time. So, was going through the series, and then we got up to Ys 8 and Ys 9, and there was a sale. And so I bought, on the big white, the PlayStation 5, the soap bar, Ys 8 and Ys 9, which is daft because I own those games multiple times. As I said, I've played through a bunch of these games before on other platforms. Nintendo Switch, yep. PlayStation Vita, there's Ys 8. Steam, there they are. There's 8 and 9. PlayStation 5 again. Look, there's Ys 8 again. So I would show you my GOG account, but I think you're getting the point. So I went through the whole series again. Really glad I did, because I refreshed myself on all of the little details about the series, so I could pick up on all the references in the new game. It's actually boosted Ys 9 a bit, in my opinion, because there were tons of little bits that I'd forgotten. The Ys games do tie into one another. You don't have to play them all together, but you'll get a bit more out of it because there are little references, character references, events referenced as you go through the series. So, it's kind of worth doing. It's worth doing. And then Ys 10 drops, and I got it on Steam, just so I could play it on the deck. And with that said, the game looks great on the deck. Amazing on the deck. And initially, feels like it's going to be more of the same. Until you realise the menus have changed, and then after an in-game event, the combat has changed. Or at least how the game fundamentally functions has changed versus how the Ys series has played years and years and years since Ys 7. You used to have a rock, paper, scissors mechanic. You had 3 party members. And, everyone understands how rock, paper, scissors works. In this game, though, it's only 2 players. All resources are shared in previous Ys games too. But in this one, each character has its own resource bar. So, if you've got any prior Ys muscle memory, this one could throw you off a bit. It did for me for quite some time. The duo mechanic, though, is absolutely fantastic on the grounds of one thing, the co-op mechanic. Ys from, I believe, it might be Ys 8, I could be wrong, had a co-op mechanic, but it functioned kind of like Secret of Mana, if anyone has played Secret of Mana, whereby the character that the main player is controlling is where the camera is locked, and everyone else can just run around and do whatever they want, but the camera won't follow them, so it's very hard for other players to focus. With the way the story has tied the 2 main characters together, they can't move too far away from each other. It's kind of fixed that kind of problem, that co-op problem from prior Ys games in this one. So it's definitely got more co-op focus in it. You're definitely going to have to use switching mechanics more to deal with resource management more. It's just, it looks very similar. Parts of the combat are very similar, but resources are very, very different. Menus are very, very different. But it's still so very, very fun. This one also seems to be the game where Adol gets his nickname Adol the Red. I'm trying to avoid spoilers. It's just so fun. You've got to just play it. Okay, just play the Ys series. They're really good. Now, we have 2 kind of bonus games. One was a gift, Liar's Bar, which I don't have any footage of, but gifted to me to play on a live stream with mates It's not really my cup of tea because it's a bluffing game, a lying game. It's a game that encourages lying, and I'm not really a huge fan of kind of weaving mistrust. The aim of Liar's Bar, there are two ways in how this goes. You either play a card game or a dice game, and the idea is you bluff your way through, and then the other players have to call you out on it. And if they're right, you have to either pick up a 6-shooter, pull the trigger, or in one of the other modes you have to drink a vial of poison. And if they call you out and they're correct, you drink or pull the trigger. If they're wrong, they have to do it. And then basically it's the last person to survive the round wins. It is kind of fun, but I prefer watching it than playing it, if I had to be completely honest. The other game was bought to play on the same live stream. I got this one. It's Empyrean Galactic Survivor. And what this is, I didn't really get a chance to play it because my mate couldn't get the server running whilst we were live. But from what I have seen of the game, it's Minecraft and No Man's Sky. It's a voxel-based building survival game in space. Looks really cool. I just haven't had a chance to play it yet. But that is the October pickups. It's month of Ys, and you can't go wrong there. Seriously, play Ys. Thanks to my mates who picked up a couple of the games. Hopefully I get to play Empyrean soon. And that's that. So I hope you're good, and I'll see you all with more pickups next month.